Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Zain Labidin. Here I will give a presentation about my 6 summarized article in extensive reading subject. The first is about the Prophet's way in correcting people mistake. The principle followed by Rasulullah SAW in dealing with the mistake of a Badui man is to treat him gently, not harshly to him, because the way to deal with Badus like this is with meekness, so that they do not fight back. Rasulullah SAW companions will attack him. Rasulullah SAW was contemplating the possible consequence of what options, stopping him or leaving him alone. If trying to stop him, forcing to hold back his urine could hurt him, and if he allowed him and the Badui to move away out of fear, uncleanness would spread to a wider area in the mosque because he had urinated. The attitude that can be exemplified from this incident is that Rasulullah SAW had the foresight to see that leaving the person alone until he finished urinating is better because it doesn't hurt the person to hold his urine, especially since the man has started doing it, and it is a problem that can be solved by cleaning it afterwards. So he told his friend to leave him alone and not to bother him. The lesson that can be taken are Rasulullah is good and he treats people well. The idea of guarding against impurity has awakened well in the minds of the companions, which is why they are quick to criticize in front of Rasulullah without first asking his permission. And then this is the second. It's about virtual reality, social and emotional learning. Students in years 8 till 10 at Maitland Grossman High School in Maitland, New South Wales, will be participating in trial of a social and emotional learning course, which includes the use of virtual reality. The WISE course developed by immersive learning company Curios aims to improve the emotional fitness of students by teaching them to cope with stress and anxiety, and equipping them with the appropriate tools to do so. Likewise, the teacher can pause and rewind the experience, and there is also the capability to send announcement to all headsets simultaneously. An example of one of the experiences McDermott shares is about teaching students that two are like trains that speed past. Achieving high students' engagement with VR, it matches well with a program we are running called Positive Education, which is a program that is built into our curriculum, and our students have fortnightly lesson with mentor teachers. Jen tells teacher, the WISE course aims to equip students with tangible skills and emotional fitness, which they can practice on a daily basis or implement in a situation where they are challenged, he explains. Controlling impulsivity, risk-taking behaviors, and emotional regulation are all a focus of the trial, he adds, which changes are applicable to vast majority of the school's students as they move through the different stage of adolescence. And then the third is about the two approaches to the teaching and learning of a second language. Here's the third summary. There are two cognitive approaches to the teaching and learning of second language. The cognitive theory proposed by Carroll and the cognitive approach proposed by Anderson and Stehan. Or we can define them as traditional or structurist cognitive approach and the information processing cognitive approach. First, they emphasize the importance of cognition in language learning, relate language learning to the internal process. The second, they both make contrast between a focus on learners' similarities and a focus on learners' difference, and this naturally leads to the discussion of foreign language aptitude. Their differences are obvious and thus stem from the differences between structurist cognitive psychology and information processing cognitive psychology. Their differences lie in their different backgrounds, their respective relationalities, and their different propositions, their different instructional principles and procedures. And the fourth summary is about abstract in journal impact of the digital technology and education. Based on journal research by G.N. Wikramanayake, in the past, education only came from schools, teachers, libraries, and print media. It is different now. In modern times, who can easily access the latest information and make it a new science? Advances in technology make it easier for us to study anywhere and anytime. Education has reached most of the world, and the use of information technology, communication, or we can say it ICT, has become part of human life to obtain information, science, and apply it in life. And then this is the fourth summary. It is about professional journal article. The topic is effect of extensive reading on learners. The background is the impacts and effectiveness on foreign language through learning extensive reading in related literature, and looks into adult learners of English in elementary and pre-intermediate level. The purpose of writing a journal. The first is to find out the different dimension of reading in second language learning. Second, to find out the historical, theoretical hypothesis, affective filter hypothesis. And then the third is to find out the characteristic of an extensive reading program. The fourth, to find out the method that effective for learning extensive reading on elementary adult learners. The method by qualitative that took a test about vocabulary, sentence structure, pronunciation, and answer from 12 participants. And research result. Collectively, some respondents have problem of their first language interface in word by word translation from their mother tongue. Some are not aware with different verb. And the conclusion, extensive reading has important impact on language learning because it can reduce mispronunciation significantly and give participants opportunity to see many points of the rule in structure of sentence. Source of journal published by Canadian Center of Science and Education. This is the last summary. The sixth is about short story. The title of story is The Legend of Malin Kundang. In a tiny town near the coastline in West Sumatra, live a female and her son. Female son's name is Malin Kundang. He is a healthy, diligent, and also strong kid. When Malin Kundang was cruising customarily, he saw a vendor's ship which was being raided by a tiny band of pirates. With his power, he can beat the pirates, and then Malin Kundang asked by the merchant to cruise him, and he agreed. Several years later, Malin Kundang being a wealthy sailor and has a beautiful life. His ship arrived to a coastline, and he was recognized by the citizen, and his mother heard it. The old female with her sadness ran to the beach to meet Malin Kundang. When his father came in front of his wife and all his crew, Malin Kundang denied the claim that the old woman was his mother and directly went to sea again. Because the old woman looked ugly, he was very angry and cursed him to stone. He didn't apologize, but Malin Kundang ignored her. And suddenly the calm sea, a thunderstorm came. Malin Kundang's ship was damaged and he was thrown to a desert island and immediately became a stone. It was too late for him to apologize to his mother, so he got a curse. Maybe that's all my presentation of my summary article in this subject. I hope you can get the point. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.